As we continue to mark Youth Month and celebrate some of the country's young people who are doing extraordinary work in their chosen fields, from the arts, entrepreneurs to young scientists who come up with innovative methods to better the lives of many struggling rural communities. Today, we turn the spotlight onto Busisiwe Mashiane. She's a 22-year-old fourth-year chemical engineering student at Wits University who has researched and developed a slow sand filter system for rural households that have a problem accessing clean water. Busisiwe is sitting right next to me. Good to see you, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so okay, you're researching this, so it's something that you're still developing. This slow sand filter system to assist in rural communities. Talk to me where the idea came from. Why did you want to work on something like this?
So having grown up in a village where access to clean water was always a problem, like we had to go to far to get water so that we can drink. Sometimes you'd have to go fetch water in the morning so that you can have water to bath and go to school. So it was very difficult, and my desire has always been that I was thinking I'd really love to help my family and my community to be able to not have the problems that they're facing currently. And so last year I did a water treatment course, and so that's where the idea developed.
And so this is where it started.
That's
coming
where it
in.
started.
and excuse the pun, filtering into your mind to do something like this. You know, you find a lot of the youth they go to university, and they almost forget about where they come from, you know, focusing on the cities and the big bad world and getting into this corporate world and, you know, forget about that. But it's so refreshing to see that you want to give back and you want to develop something that can help the community that you come from. Do you find that with a lot of your fellow students, or are you sort of one in a mix?
I think there are a lot of students who are passionate about helping their communities. It's just maybe sometimes there's different ways in which people feel like they can help their communities. For example, I know a lot of people who feel like in order for them to be able to make a change, they either have to be like big politicians, or they have to be really high in corporate and things like that in order for them to actually start making a difference. And I think that's the difference, to say there's a lot of people who want to make a change, and it's sometimes finding the little things to be able to do that's difficult, because we have this idea in society that you have to be huge in order to be able to do anything worthwhile.
Absolutely. And also we have to stand there in a queue waiting for government to do something, whereas we can actually take the bull by the horns and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, which is amazing. So I want to know how far you are. How far are you with the research, and how does this are you hoping that this is going to work?
I'm hoping, I have really high hopes for it. And
so do we.
And I'm really hoping to be past the phase of research and developing the system by the end of the year, so that next year I can take it to a different level.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping I'll be done with most of the tests and things like that I need to do by the end of the year, so that next year it's at least something that I can do in a different way. So, for example, looking at how do I implement it in other areas. So, I mean, I have a filter at my house that my family is currently testing out as well. So, the idea is to try and see if I can't expand it into other areas around the country and stuff.
How does it work? Talk to me about how it works.
So, the way it works is that it's a continuous system where we have the feed tank. That's where you pour in your natural water source. Doesn't matter whether it's river water, borehole water, rainwater, or other water that can be found naturally in the environment. And that water flows through a pipe into the filter. And the filter is made up of different types of sand. And as the water flows down from the top to the bottom, it gets filtered out. So the sand is small, and it traps mostly just the physical impurities, as well as some of the biological impurities. That's the bacteria that's in the water that could cause possibly sickness. And that bacteria, as time goes on, more and more bacteria gets trapped at the top. and the clean water comes out into the sterilization tank, which is a transparent container that you can put in the sun to kill off any bacteria that wasn't killed within the filter. And then, from there you can drink the water.
And then that'll be safe for drinking.
Yes.
What makes this different to other filter systems that are already out there? I mean, there are so many filter systems, but why specifically this one?
I mean, because it's not too big that it requires a whole community to undertake it, but at the same time, it's not so small that it is for an individual, right? And most of the time, that's the kind of filters that you find, either like the small jar where you can pour your water a little and and let it filter, but that's not enough for like a whole family, especially for repeated use for that family. So now the way in which the system is set up is that the whole family can use that water, and it would be fast enough that they would not have to wait long periods of time in order to get the water. Because I mean, the water, you just have to put one batch once for it to come out clean.
Excellent.
Ideally.
Ideally. So this is, I mean, it's a fantastic idea, and an idea that households need, because, I mean, I think many of us are very ignorant to the fact of how far people walk to go and get fresh water, and the circumstances that people live under in order to, I mean, we're very spoiled here. You turn on a tap, it's there, but that's not where water comes from.
Joburg people are quite spoiled.
We are, I know we are. So where are you from?
I'm from a small village called Bundu in Mpumalanga, Kwandebele region.
Okay. And so your family have got sort of the prototype, and they're trying to
One
use it.
of them, yes. So there's 3 currently.
Okay.
I mean, I can't bring it anywhere because it's too heavy for me to carry.
Yeah.
So I have 2 at vet and 1 at home.
That's amazing. We are hoping that you're going to finish this very, very quickly and roll it out all over the country and change people's lives, because that's exactly what you're on the verge of doing.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's the youth of today, and we thank you and salute you for the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. So when it's done and it's ready, you've got to invite us, and we'll come and do a little insert on it, I think, and come and film you in your home. It'll be really great. Thank you.
Sounds very lovely.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming in and talking to us. Busisiwe, who is Busisiwe Mashiani, is a 22-year-old fourth-year chemical engineering student at Wits University who has researched and developed a slow sand filter system. It's for rural households that have a problem accessing clean water. They can keep it in their home, and this will give them all the clean water that they need from any natural source. So let's wait and see when that's finished, and we look forward to seeing it. All right, let's take a